Dr. Stephen Greer, a retired emergency physician, has been investigating UFOs and extraterrestrial phenomena for over 30 years. He discusses the Invention Secrecy Act of 1951, which allows the U.S. government to classify and restrict public knowledge of new inventions and technologies that are deemed to present a potential threat to national security. Greer claims this act has been used to suppress revolutionary energy and propulsion technologies that could transform society. Greer asserts that there are thousands of patents being held under secrecy orders, many of which relate to free energy devices, anti-gravity propulsion, and other advanced technologies. He argues that if released, these technologies could end pollution and poverty within about 20 years. However, their suppression protects trillions of dollars in assets tied to existing industries like oil, gas, and conventional transportation. Greer connects the UFO phenomenon to these suppressed technologies. He claims that many UFO sightings are actually man-made craft using classified anti-gravity propulsion systems. He suggests that only 20 to 30% of UFO sightings are genuinely extraterrestrial, while the majority are secret human projects. Greer has interviewed numerous military and intelligence whistleblowers who have corroborated these claims. Greer discusses the dangers faced by those who try to expose these secrets. He claims that 4 people on his team have been killed, and he himself has faced numerous threats. He describes a recent incident where his mountain bike was allegedly tampered with, resulting in a serious accident. Greer has implemented a dead man's trigger, a cache of sensitive information that will be released if anything happens to him. Greer outlines a shadowy power structure that controls these secret technologies and programs. He suggests that conventional government figures, like the President and Congress, are often kept in the dark, with real power residing in a committee of a few hundred people, many connected to defense contractors and corporations. He mentions figures like Henry Kissinger, Dick Cheney, and George H.W. Bush as being part of this group. Greer discusses alleged encounters between extraterrestrials and government officials, including a reported meeting between President Eisenhower and extraterrestrial beings. He claims that extraterrestrial craft use advanced propulsion systems based on zero-point energy and manipulation of spacetime. Greer also mentions government programs to shoot down these craft using advanced electromagnetic weapons. Greer explains the concept of zero-point energy, describing it as the baseline energy field that exists even in apparently empty space. He claims that this energy can be tapped using very high voltage systems operating at specific frequencies. Greer suggests that understanding and harnessing this energy could revolutionize transportation, energy production, and even enable interstellar travel. The podcast touches on the topic of teleportation, which Greer claims is not just science fiction, but a real technology that has been developed in classified programs. He connects this to the phenomenon of quantum entanglement, suggesting that advanced civilizations can use these principles for instantaneous communication and transportation across vast distances. Greer discusses the intersection of consciousness and technology, suggesting that advanced extraterrestrial civilizations have developed ways to interface their consciousness directly with their technology. He relates this to human experiences like telepathy and remote viewing, arguing that these abilities are real and can be technologically augmented. Greer alleges that major media outlets are complicit in maintaining secrecy around these topics. He recounts stories of journalists and producers who were prevented from covering UFO-related stories by their superiors. Greer argues that this media control is a crucial part of keeping the public in the dark about these technologies and phenomena. Greer advocates for an open-source approach to developing these suppressed technologies. He proposes creating a research and development lab that would live-stream its work, allowing scientists worldwide to contribute and preventing the work from being easily suppressed. He argues that this approach could rapidly advance our technological capabilities while avoiding the pitfalls that have befallen previous inventors. The podcast touches on the potential environmental and social benefits of releasing these technologies. Greer argues that free energy devices could rapidly transform the global energy landscape, eliminating pollution and providing abundant energy to impoverished regions. He criticizes current environmental initiatives as well-meaning but fundamentally limited by their reliance on conventional technologies. Greer announces a new initiative to protect whistleblowers who come forward with information about these secret programs. He describes a special access project that has been set up to monitor and protect individuals who choose to disclose sensitive information. This project allegedly has the backing of a three-letter government agency, though Greer is careful not to specify which one. The podcast provides historical context for the suppression of advanced technologies, mentioning figures like Nikola Tesla and discussing how his work was confiscated and classified after his death. Greer also touches on the role of World War II and the early Cold War in accelerating the development and suppression of these technologies. Greer discusses ongoing efforts to disclose information about UFOs and suppressed technologies. He mentions his work with members of Congress and his attempts to push for greater transparency and oversight of these secret programs. Greer expresses hope that the tide is turning, with more insiders willing to come forward and more public interest in these topics. The podcast acknowledges the challenges in proving these claims and the skepticism they often face. Greer discusses the sophisticated disinformation tactics used to discredit researchers and witnesses in this field. He emphasizes the importance of careful investigation and the need to distinguish between genuine information and deliberate misinformation. Throughout the podcast, Greer shares personal anecdotes and experiences that have shaped his understanding of these issues. He discusses his background as a physician, his early interest in UFOs, and the various high-level briefings he has conducted over the years. Greer emphasizes his motivation to bring these technologies to light for the benefit of humanity and the planet. The podcast concludes with Greer encouraging listeners to explore the evidence he has compiled, including a recently released archive of documents and testimonies. He invites people to participate in upcoming events and to support the ongoing work of disclosure through donations and spreading awareness. Greer emphasizes the potential for transformative change if these technologies are released, and the importance of public engagement in pushing for transparency.